Welcome to Bloodbath and Beyond. Today we review Jolly Roger, Massacre at Cutter's Cove. He's got his eye on the booty.
Directed by Gary Jones and starring Rhett Giles, Tom Nagel, Kristina Korn, and Thomas Downey, this movie is about a group of friends who unleash a demonic pirate from a treasure chest. And now he's collecting the heads of his enemies' ancestors to get his gold.
Before we get into things, I do want to give a shout out to Doc the Metal Freak, one of the first subscribers of the channel, and this was one of the first recommendations on the channel, and we only recently found this. I've kept it in the back of my mind. And Tubi just delivers with basically everything from the mid-2000s, so we finally watched it, and we got trapped for it, so it's like really OG. This review will also have full spoilers.
What do we like about this movie, guys?
Pirate horror. I'm for it. I love it. I loved what our pirate looked like. Having a pirate as a slasher using all the swashbuckling he can is fantastic.
He was like this decaying pirate that was straight out of Pirates of the Caribbean. But what I love about this film is it reminded me of the Are You Afraid of the Dark episode.
Call this story The Tale of Cutter's Treasure.
Where like they accidentally get the cursed treasure and now these ghost pirates are like hunting them down.
That was one of my favorite episodes, by the way. I forgot about that. He reminded me of old Greg.
Come on, Greg.
There were some really good decapitations in this movie. Bit repetitive, but we got some cool kills. I think a standout was the stripper. She got her head cut off while she was on the pole.
And I love that whole situation.
Roger was really going for the booty. I think he actually did a good booty squeeze.
Is that a musket in your pocket, or are you just happy to see me?
Even though there was 10 decapitations, I enjoyed it because Roger tried to make each one different. Even though it was like look in the eye, say the name, and then chop their head off.
Doesn't sound very different to me, John.
I know, but for some reason I enjoyed it.
Prepare to die. No, you scurvy dog.
I think they did a really good job mixing the digital effects with the practical effects too. Because you can kind of tell that they were using CG when they were doing some of the decapitations. And then they also worked in some practical blood, which just made things look pretty decent. Except for that one guy's body falling when they cut the head off. He just like slumps over. It was great.
I did like when the mare got her hand cut off.
Very strong killer.
Yeah, well, I mean, he was like supernatural.
And he could teleport and stuff.
I did like Alex because he knew what was going on. It was basically like, oh shit, I'm arrested. The cops are gonna pin this murder on me. I gotta try and prove my innocence. Meanwhile, his girlfriend was like, no, let's just like, they're just taking our DNA test because it's standard. No.
Breaking out of the cop place makes you seem real guilty.
Yeah, that guy is sus as fuck.
Look, don't pull an OJ. They'll think you're guilty if you run off like this.
I like that there are like a lot of cheesy aspects to this. Like, whether intentional or not, like some of the jokes that they made were kind of weird.
2 months together and there's trouble in paradise.
Trouble. T-R-U-B-B-L-L-E-E. Trouble.
But I liked when they were on the computer looking up serialkillers.com on Angel Fire or whatever the fuck.
Oh, this is sick.
And they're just like real Pirates of the Caribbean. You're watching Jesse just like navigate this website, but they just added in all these typing sound effects. Like, she's not typing, she's fucking scrolling. But like mid-2000s, they just like, they're so dumb when it comes to computers, and I love it.
Let's check out these photos.
They got a lot out of what little they had, right? Like they had one empty warehouse, obviously one room in the school to use for one night, someone's house, and we got a whole movie out of it. So you gotta commend them on that.
And shout out to nudity. I didn't expect it, and we got some. We got a topless girl at the beginning, and then of course we had some strippers.
Ah, you're a fine looking wench, aren't you?
Like the prime strip club ever. You get nudity or alcohol, and in this case you get nudity.
We're not allowed to serve alcohol. City ordinance.
When you're hammered, you go to the strip club, right? So you'll probably go and stay for a bit. You won't stay as long.
They coax you into staying, but at least you're not paying for $10 drinks, I guess. There's upsides and downsides to not being able to drink at a bar.
At a strip club.
At a strip club. But you
Complete
look,
downside at a bar.
they say that they didn't serve alcohol, but when the guy with the gold chains, he's standing in front of the fucking bar, right?
Yeah. I don't know why they went out of their way to tell us that piece of information.
But if they didn't talk about it, we'd be complaining, well, why did the pirate pirate not have any rum? Pirates drink rum.
And I would still say that because there's no reason he couldn't have just had a bottle of rum. He's fucking magic. Like, he had whatever he wanted. What, are you saying he's not magic? He's supernatural. He has some kind of magic abilities. Of course he could probably come back with his old 1700s bottle of rum.
But if he was magic and he could pull up rum, then he could just make his, like, what does he need the gold or treasure for?
I would just try and get treasure to buy more rum. That's the only reason I have a job.
I think it would have been funny in the strip club scene when she asked for a tip if he had like a doubloon and just like slide it down the crack.
I honestly thought it was coming.
What didn't we like about this movie, guys?
The story kind of sucked. I like the pirate aspect, and I like that he needed to go collect heads and stuff. But like the side story with like the cops trying to like chase the kids, it just dragged on, and it's just people jumping from place to place, and it didn't really matter.
It could have been an interesting story if well done, but it wasn't well done. And so we were left wanting more.
Well, we didn't love the movie like while we were watching it. Like, yeah, we were making jokes and stuff. But at the end, you're like, oh, they're setting up for a sequel, are they? I'd watch that.
Ahoy, me mateys.
Like, I don't know why I want to watch another one when this one wasn't even that good. There's a lot of, like, boring stuff that happens. I don't care about the characters at all, but I still want more pirate horror.
I also find it strange how, like, this is 300 years later, and this is, like, the first time this is happening.
Help me, give me some head, baby.
Oh, it's because they took his head and threw it out of the chest.
They're like, oh, what's this? Oh, cool, a chest. And then they just throw the fucking head into the water, and then he's just like, well, I'm a pirate now.
To be fair, that girl didn't even say it was a chest. She's like, that's not a chest.
It's not a treasure chest.
Have you ever seen a fucking chest? There's one on your shirt.
I don't know. If we go back and review the film, I think you might think it's just a crate.
It was boxier than usual, but come on.
When that girl died, the look on her face when she like saw Jolly Roger, that's not the reaction you should have when like a decaying person is about to swing a sword down on you.
That was her O-face. And it just happened at a weird time.
X marks the spot.
I said you can find it. I didn't say you could touch it.
If I find it, I'm definitely gonna touch it.
So, the acting, not great.
Do you think it might have been a sword?
Well, it could have been a sword, it could have been anything. It was definitely very sharp. That I can tell for sure.
And it seemed like most things were done in one shot because people would flub their lines and they'd just carry on and not reshoot. Like when the guy's in the car and he's like,
our friends are dead.
Hey, asshole, they were my friends too.
yeah, well, he said our. He was probably supposed to say, all my friends are dead. And they did that often.
Yeah, but I don't know. Like, the script had problems. The dialogue wasn't believable. I don't know if we could have saved this movie if we redid it.
There would have been more puns. I really wish we had more pirate puns in this.
Yeah, were there like good one-liners when he killed people?
No.
You betrayed the code of the pirates.
There's so much opportunity for pirate puns.
You took my treasure, matey, but not again.
You know what else is weird? The guy's talking like he has a bunch of hot dogs, but he only has one hot dog.
I got hot dogs here.
They're ruined. They're toast.
These are perfect.
It's like people just like fuck up their lines and don't pay attention to their surroundings. They're just trying to like read their lines and it doesn't add up.
It's time for our final thoughts and ratings. So, not really a winner. I think there were some things that could have made this a better movie. I think that the story had potential to be interesting. The killings were actually better done than I thought they were going to. But I do think that it was a bit repetitive. The dialogue was pretty bad and the acting was probably just as bad. So I don't think I can recommend this movie. I don't think there's a lot of point in bashing it completely. I just think that it's like a stupid watch if you want to just joke around with your friends. So I'm gonna give this a 1.5 horrible heart attacks out of 5.
Having actively looked for this movie for 6 years, it didn't hold up to my expectations. But I did like the pirate aspect. A pirate slasher is a fun thing that we definitely need to revisit. However, this one, the writing was not very good. And I didn't like the characters. There's a lot that I didn't like about this. I did like the kills, but it just definitely felt repetitive. I would have liked for them to lean more into the pirate aspect.
What, no bikini pirates?
So I'm gonna give this 1 snack that didn't smile back out of 5.
For a pirate horror, it nailed the pirate. The guy who played Jolly Roger did a good job. The look was good, But aside from that, you didn't have anything that was overly pirate related, and that's kind of disappointing. We just got like a really cheap story and really bad acting from all of our characters. But they did give us some kills. But you could pretty much fast forward the film and just like pause on those scenes.
Well, then you have to press play so you can watch the scenes.
Yeah, you gotta pretty much fast forward and then press play on those scenes.
Just one scene. It's the same thing over and over.
Just loop it like they did while watching the guy's arm get ripped off of the strip club. They watched that for like 5 minutes.
She is a good dancer.
Great concept, not so good execution. So with that being said, I give this film 1.5. Why the hell are you etching these names when you should be writing them out of 5?
As always, thank you for watching. Like this video and comment below with your thoughts on the film if you've seen it. If you haven't and you do want to check it out, it is on Tubi. And if it's your first time here, make sure you subscribe to the channel to stay up to date with everything Bloodbath and beyond.